16:30, 17 maximum, but we need to be there by 17:30 at the Vesper's house. So, Elder, can I hand over to you? Thanks.
Thank you very much. Use this. Do we close this one? Yeah.
Give an echo or something.
You see? Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for coming. We just want to have a short discussion. Last time when we met, we discussed a lot about how do we manage our resources in such a way that we are able to manage our lives well. Remember when we as children of God, if we never planned well, we will not achieve much. Generally, if you don't plan, we don't achieve. And then I remember Solomon there. He was asking, God asked him, "What can I give you?" He says, "No, I just need wisdom to lead your people." Then he said, "No, yeah, you have asked a very good thing. Then I will give you even more things than what you asked." Because he asked the right thing. So the right thing was not for him to get rich and to get this and that, but he was just saying, "I just want to lead your people." And then at the end, Solomon was given wisdom. He was able to do a lot of things, but it's not what he asked. He just asked to lead the people. And when you read the book of Numbers, I think chapter 8, verse 23 to 25 there. Now, it's the only verse I've seen in the Bible which talks about retirement. That at the age of 50, the Levites were to retire. But retirement in that case was not meaning to stop working. They were stopping to do what they usually do, but do something else. And what they were doing, it was said that they were given responsibility, but accountability was based on the Levites, the official ones. Now, this is why last time when we mentioned here, we said it is very unfortunate that when a pastor retires in the church of our days, he's been thrown away. In most places, he just stay in the corner there, no responsibility. They just say, when you start talking about, you are not officially employed, you are retired. You sit at the corner. Now, this is why you find even in other conferences, like Northern Conference as an example, they are doing very well. They look after their retired people. They still give them responsibility. I remember when the president was retiring that side, he had to go and manage Meals on Wheels. They didn't say, go and stay at home, man, you are not useful. Other conferences, you retire, you don't even have a house. Nobody cares. They just leave you alone. But according to the Bible, they still have to have responsibility, and then so that they can do some work. Now, when you come back to us as church members, I remember when one young person, I passed him there. I said, "No, we're just going to discuss a retirement issue." He said, "I've got 40 years to go." So you can see that the issue of retirement is meant for the old people. And that's a big mistake. Because, as I will discuss now, retirement does not start when you retire. Because if you start when you retire, you'll be frustrated. Because you shall not have planned for it. I think the people who are professionals, professional people who work in the office most of the time, you see people refusing to get out of the office. Yeah, they will always come back. If retirement is at 60, at 59 and a half, or at 59, he goes to his office, he has got what we call 5-year plan. It's 59. When he's supposed to get out of the office, he says, no, I want to implement my plan. It means the man wants to stay long because he has not planned that I want to exit. That's where the challenge is. And this is the reason why we thought it is a very nice topic for us to discuss. Last time we discussed about, one of the major discussion, it was mainly on when you have got extra income, where should you put the money? Where can you put it so that it can grow? Now, so that you don't eat the seed, you eat the fruit. There are people who eat the seed and finish everything. But if you eat the fruit, in other words, if you've got 10 rand and it brings 1 rand, you can eat that 1 rand. Don't eat the 10 rand because you will eat the seed. It will never grow again. It will remain as low as it is. Now, I want us to have a nice discussion together. I think this is, I'll always show this. Always, in most of the places, you see it. The reason why you put it there, and remember we mentioned 3 things in the past that they are of important in our lifetime. Is health, is money, and is time. Now, you can have a lot of money and become very unhealthy. You will never do anything with it. You can have a very good health, and then a very good, very, very healthy, physically, and you forget your spiritual health. There's nothing you can do. You are going to be miserable. And then you can work around time in a wrong way. Like one day, you ask a young man, about 15 years old, and then you say, what do you want to do when you grow? When you are a big man, what do you want to go? And then, or you say to him, what do you want to do in your life? Then the young man says, no, I want to marry. And then, remember, he's 15 years old. His aim is, his focus is marriage. If he's not well directed, it's not wrong because he's going to marry in the future anyway. But it's at the wrong time. Now, if you look at what is appearing there on our time, it may not be exact. This was the time. Now, at 0 to 20, and this is what I always show here. It is usually dependent. For example, 0 to 20, school going age. Others, at 20 to 30. Just an estimate. It's not exactly as it is. I'm studying after school, taking investment risk, buying first property at this age. And this one here, it will depend. If you are a girl, this one may move here because this is a family year. The girls, you find that at 25, 26, 28, they get married. Are we together? That's right. That's why I'm saying this is just an estimate. Now, and at 30 to 40 is the working years. That's where you start working. Family years doesn't mean you are marrying, but you are bringing up children. Children may have been born here. If a girl may be born here as a boy, because you find that the young people may be married after maybe 27, 28, 30, or here. But but when you look at the practical part, this is mainly the working years, because the year they started, they finished, then they start working 40 to 50, somewhere there, as you go along. The family years, 50 to 60, pre-retirement, above 60, retirement. Now, if you look at this, remember there is nothing called retirement age. It depends on the policy or the government, wherever you are. Some people retire at 50 in their workplace, others at 55. But in general, it's 55 and above. In general, you can retire at 55 and above and do something else. But now when we say it's a pre-retirement age, is when we look at age 60 and above as time to retire. And then during this time is when the children are out of the house, or maybe somewhere here. Children are out of the house, they are at the university, they finished, others are married, they are out. And then this one we call, for this discussion, we call it a retirement age, because from year 55, most companies, they say you can stop and retire. Others are compelled to retire at 60 in most companies. And the reason for retirement, if they say 60, one of the major reasons is because they want younger people to take over. It's not because you can't be productive. You can still work and then be very strong. That's why politicians, they go up to 80. They're still thinking normally, most of them, 60, 70, 80, 90. And they're still thinking normally with people around them, advising them. Now retirement is very relative. It depends on what type of work you do. Little dead. That's right. They're sleeping in Parliament. That's right. But the main message is this. Now, the reason why we put this one here is that, you see, when you are young, you are here, you never think we'll retire. When you are here, life is nice, you have got a family, life is very nice. You never think we'll retire. When you are here, and then children are growing out, and then they are growing very well, they're going to university, you never think we'll retire. You think my children are still small, they're growing. When you reach here, between 50 and 60, it starts ringing that retirement may come. And then when you reach the 60s and above, you see retirement has arrived, and you have never prepared for it. You always say, the day I retire, but you never think about it, that it is coming or it has arrived. Now, when it arrives here, you start panicking, because it arrives in the time when you are not ready for it. Now, the aim of the discussion is to say, we encouraged our young people, and then the people who are older or the middle group, we need to always work on this program and make sure that we prepare, so that when you reach the time for retirement, which usually is somewhere here, or you choose to retire at 50. Remember, you can choose to retire at 50, depending on your plan. You can retire at 40. In other, from here onwards, you can decide to retire. You don't have to retire at 60. Now, the challenge is, as I mentioned in the past, our education system is a challenge. If when you are here, your mind is not tuned out, God help you to just tune it out quickly, you turn around quickly. You will attend school and then reach the working years, and then you encourage the young people as they are growing and say to them, please take this subject so that you can get a job. Now our education system does not prepare people to work for themselves in most of the cases. This is why you'll find a lot of professionals who may even have a lot of money. They don't even know how to manage it, because they've never taught on how to deal with finances. They are taught on how to work for somebody else. And then the teaching is, I don't know whether you've realized it. You find someone you usually mention it many times. You go into his office or her office at home, at work, and then on the walls in the wall there, they've got a big, nice certificate of achievement. He had been achieving very well, and then the company is working for is doing extremely well. There is certificates around. That's right. And under him is about 100 people or 200 people is managing them. Managing very well with a very good certificate. But you get surprised. Doing so well, everybody, and then with production, the company is doing very well under him. But you arrive home, he cannot manage 4 people. Something wrong. It's just about maybe 3 or 4 children and the wife. He cannot manage, but he manages 200 people. It's because of mentality. Our mental state is that we must work. And then we must work and get a salary. But you cannot manage our own things, but you can manage other people's things. We are very good stewards when coming to looking after other people's issues, but we cannot manage ours. Now, there is something we need to remember as a young person, as you grow. It is very, very important that when young people like we have, they've got a program there, but I wish they would get this message very clear. From day one, when you your mind starts changing for better, you must put your clear plan on how you'd like to be when you retire. Because now there are people who don't know what. This is why you find people Remember, retiring is not necessarily the best only because you've got a lot of money. No. For an example, let's say you wake up every day, né? You go to work every day, 5 days a week. Sabbath, church, Sunday, you start preparing, you go to work. Suddenly you are kept in the house, like during lockdown. Let's look at the lockdown, what happened. Suddenly you are in the house, you've got a lot of time. And you have not planned anything what to do with that time. There will be chaos in the house. You just have a lot of time. Now, during lockdown, there were a lot of divorces and fights in the homes because the people had time together and they never had time together in their lives at all. You find that now you wake up in the morning, you're not going to work, you never plan not to go to work. You are told not to come. And then children are around. They'll be told not to go to school for the next 3 months. And then this is sudden, time not planned. There will be disaster. The same applies with retirement. This retirement is nothing to do whether you've got a lot of money, as you will see. You must have a clear plan that at this age, I'm going to retire. And when I retire, this is what I'm going to do. And you put plan in place. And this way, as I mentioned here, that many people suffer post-retirement depression because of lack of planning, because they don't know what to do with time. They've got a lot of time, you know. I don't know whether you have realized one day you plan to do something, and that thing fails, and you don't have anything to do. Just those 5 hours, you say, no, I want to go to Johannesburg to visit my brother, my sister. You know, in the morning of the visit, they said to you, you know what, we are very sorry, we forgot to tell you, we are traveling. Suddenly you've got this time you don't know what to do with. You feel a bit frustrated. You can imagine when you reach a stage in your life where they say, permanently, you are not supposed to work. And you never planned. That's a disaster. I got one professor at the University of Pretoria. He said something very, very important. You remember Professor Kerr? There's another one called Prof. Mokhobo. You know him very well, Elder James. One day he called me in the corner. He said, young man, I want to advise you, never retire because never plan your life in such a way that you will still pay a bond when you are retiring. That's right, that's one. Another one said, he came with a card. That man was a powerful teacher, respected the whole country. At the university, he's somebody who's been respected. When he's not around and there is a very important meeting, they wait for him. Then 6 months before retirement, he got a letter that remember that on the such and such a date, you are retiring. The man got confused because he thought it was very important. And they're not offering you anything. They say you are retiring. You are going to stop working here. We don't need you. And then another one in Johannesburg refused to get out of the office. He says, I'm not getting out here. I've got so many plans for this department. They had to call securities to stop him from getting inside. Why? Because the man has not planned. And he's got now a lot of time he does not do with it. So, now lack of plan about what you will do with your time when you retire is the major problem, is the one which leads to that. Financial well-being does not guarantee happiness at retirement. There are people who have got a lot of money, but when they retire, they don't even know what to do with it. They've got time. They don't know what to do. They never plan to travel. They never plan anything. They never plan to do anything. There is the money, but then what? Remember, money is not the main issue. You've got the money, but you've got a time you have not planned. You've got a problem. Money is there, but you've got time you have not planned. As I said, time is also very, very important. Now, when you mention about this, for proper planning is important. Planning together as a couple is very crucial. And for example, sitting around and planning death-related issues. When we are 40, 50, you say the day of when our death arrives, what is going to happen? People are afraid to discuss this. This is why most of the people, professional in particular, particularly Christians, they don't have a will, because a will force you to talk about death. They avoid it. They don't talk about it. And they don't want to talk about death. They want to talk about money, wealth, If the wife says to you, Papa, you know what? If you die today, what is going to happen? Hey, what are you saying? Me die? No, I'm still strong and healthy. That's right. And he doesn't know that can happen. Planning death is very, very important to see if things happen and then what is going to happen. This is why you find professionals. When a person dies, the family start fighting on where he's supposed to get buried. It is never discussed. It's not part of the deal. But when you plan retirement, it comes. You discuss as a couple. You discuss the death issues, and then if you don't die, where will you live? For an example, let's say you retire. Usually, men, commonly, you will find that husband and wife. You find that the husband retire first. Commonly, not always, depending on the plan. If they retire because of age, the husband may retire first, because usually the husband is older. Now, let's say the husband retires and has got no plan. It's a disaster. This woman, or the wife, will be waking up in the morning to go to work. Leave this frustrated man in the house, because he never planned. He'll be walking around, even buying wrong things, because he has never planned. Buying wrong things, putting money in the wrong place. And because he has never planned, he thought it's going to be in his employment forever. So this is very, very important. If you can keep it in mind to say, let's sit down in a house, let's plan retirement. I think that's the one thing I wanted us to emphasize. I'll go on to something else. But let's plan retirement. And please, it must be planned. It shouldn't be dreams. A proper planning written down. You can even revise it as you go along. You don't look like that young man who was asked, what do you want to grow? I want to be an engineer. But he's every day, the 5 hours of the day is watching TV. That's a dream. You're just dreaming, but what you're doing in practice, it will not happen. Because you spend 5 hours watching TV and not studying. And at the end you say, one day I want to be this. And every day you don't put effort. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't mean everybody watch TV with faith. Please, you should understand me. But I'm talking about using time effectively to manage to be able to reach where you want to reach. So it's very, very important for us to plan. I hope the message is clear. We need to plan our retirement. It's very, very crucial. We're praying for what is that now? It will go away? Oh, is it gone? I'll just click on the side. That's right, yes. I'll click on the side. Now, preparing for retirement, please remember, saving matters a lot. Saving matters. Remember what we discussed before about I'm talking now about retirement based on financial resources. Remember, retirement is not only about money, but we're going to just try to emphasize that. But it's not only that. It's just that the money will play one of the major roles, because as you grow, you are at risk. If you don't know where you are going, you will suddenly stop working and the finances cannot support you. You're going to have a problem, because you have to downgrade. And if you never prepared for that, you'll undergo depression. The people know you as a very big man, respected by everybody. And then you are afraid to move from Centurion to Mamelodi, to build your own house. Or to move from Centurion to Harangua, Mabopan, where you can get a house and retire and relax. Because you are not ready for that. You're going to end up in a financial crisis in Centurion, as an example, and then while you know you cannot afford, because you have not planned for it. And that's the way. Now, I want to talk about this section here because you see, that's why I say preparing for retirement. And if you don't prepare with clear goals, you will have a problem because you will not save for it. You won't save even money for retirement. You are going to be like what the devil was trying to do to Jesus. No? See, you are on top there. Throw yourself down, you'll see the angels will catch you. If Jesus wanted to, he would have done that. He would have been a celebrity overnight. People would just follow him after that. But a miraculous man has come. No, he says, no, I don't want to. He says, no, I've got time. I need to use this time. People must understand what I'm doing. This is why you see in other churches, they just throw somebody down and then the person start behave like he was broken, he start walking. Then people just say the power of God, they start following without understanding. This is why Adventist church, I like it because you are taught to reason and you use your brain to understand things. You are not. It's not. We don't crook. Rather, hey, you don't report me. You are going to jail. You are going to hell. Do you want to go to hell? I don't want to go to hell. Then come. Here is the water. Then you will run into the. No. You have to understand first. Now everything else. Now when coming to, your life, it needs a lot of understanding and nice planning. Now, let's start here. Now, what you should do, this is just a personal advice. What you should do, we always say, start saving for retirement. Don't eat everything. During when we arrived here last week, the other week, and here, we were sitting outside here. Then a mind just came, and then I said, we want to build a big structure here. Just at the mind. We need to build a structure here. Then I looked at these cars parked here. I said, if we can sell all these cars, we can buy a big structure overnight, It's just a mind, That's just the thinking. But you can see these cars which are parked here. Start from there. Huh? No. We just said no. We start with all these cars with a wheel at the back. but no, I'm just saying. You see, that's right. I'm just saying, when coming to saving for retirement, we always say, start saving, keep saving, stick to your goals. Remember. When you retire, when the time for retirement comes, it will be you and your family. You're not going to come here and then say, please remember me. It's you. You have to save. Start saving. And then if you don't start, you will never start because there are many demands of life. You'll never start. It doesn't matter how old you are. Others, you always say, it's late in my life. It's never late because it depends on what your goals are now. Know your retirement needs. Because this is very, 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 very crucial. You must know your retirement needs. You know why? The reason is that, as we always discuss, retirement is nothing to do with competition. You plan your needs, put them right, and work towards them. And everybody here will have different needs. That's right. We'll never have the same needs. And when you come time for retirement and you sell your car, you get a smaller car. Nothing wrong. It's not a matter of frustration. You have planned for it. Or you retire, you get a bigger car. It doesn't matter. It's just that you have planned for it. It shouldn't say, I'm not ready yet, but I can't sell this car because what are people going to say? Then you must know you've got a problem. But you must know your retirement needs. Contribute to your employer's retirement saving plan. If you are an employee, remember there are people who, when they work in their workplace, if there is no retirement plan at work, you must ask. And if you don't ask, if you ask and they don't have it, start your own retirement plan. Remember, the retirement plan at work is one of the dangerous ones if you trust it. It's very dangerous, this one. I'll explain as we go along. And now, this is what we discussed before. Consider basic investment principles. We may not discuss them now, we discussed them before. These principles of investment so that you can put your money aside every now and then and save. And don't trust employer's pension plan because it can disappoint you. It can disappoint you. There are people who are employed, usually in the public sector, they are employed. After employment, it was very painful. I'll explain what they've done. No, very, very painful. What they do, when you retire, yes, you've got about 5 million in your retirement. Okay? And then you find that in your life you've never seen 1 million. But they say there is 5 million for you. What is 1/3 of 5 million? Pardon? $5 million. Yeah, but now they say they plan, 1.5 million, but they say they're going to give you 1.5 million cash, 1.6 million. And you've never seen 1 million. You are very excited that they're going to give me then from there after that, they say to you, we are going to keep the money, we are going to give you a salary every month. Okay? They make you sign some papers. You've got a big problem. You've got a big, big problem. Now, after signing, let's say every month they give you a salary, you are excited. You used to earn 30,000 rand, they give you 25,000. It's a very big achievement. That's a retiree. 25,000 every month, you used to get 30,000 rand. They give you 25 every month with your 3.5 million in there. You've got a problem. I'll explain. Because what is going to happen? And they've done with a lot of people, a lot of them. What is going to happen is that they are going to give you that salary every month until you die. When you die, the government takes the whole money. There's no beneficiary there. There's no beneficiary. There's a name for it, but they make you sign. This is why, when you retire, there's one of my relatives, he was retiring, and he was very clever. He went there and says, I want my money back, all of it. They will put these papers there, but no, you can't take all of it. If you are taking out of it, you are retiring, you are resigning. No, but I'm retiring, but I need my money, all of it. It took almost 3 months. The people were refusing to sign the papers until he had to involve other people to assist him. I need my money. It's an option. I must get it. Then when he went and took it, he wrote a letter, and then they say, you are resigning. Yes, you can call it a resign, but I need all of it. Then he took all the money, he put it in a preservation fund, and he kept it there, and he controls it. But they don't want that. No, they want everybody to leave their money there. And then where there is no beneficiary, the beneficiary is the government itself. When you die, the money has disappeared. Yes. They tell you it is going to repair roads. It was mainly for keep you alive. It got nothing to do with anybody else. Now when you depend on this, you're going to have a challenge if you've no idea of what is going to happen in your life. And then I'm going to rush quickly so that we can finish. And then don't touch your retirement savings. Now, there are people who plan and plan and plan. They put money aside, they put it aside and put it aside. They always want to go and borrow money there. When they've got a problem, they go to the retirement money. Remember, just please, no, I know it's very hot. No? I wish you could interact now, as you are going, because, yeah, it's very hot. If we can interact. Now, you remember now, because the economy is bad. The economy is tough now. There is a suggestion that people must get part of their retirement. And they know if you get 1/3 of your retirement, when that time comes, when you retire, everything is down. You got almost very little to live on. It's going to be a challenge, yes. Just for let's interact so that we, yeah. You want to add? I want to interact. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
This one is still relevant. When you talk about save and continue saving.
Yes.
So my question is, when we talk about saving, are we talking exclusively in terms of monetary terms, or one can save by investing in low risk or no risk?
We are coming there.
Okay.
Yeah, we are coming there.
Okay.
That's the next one. Because the next question, when we talk about saving, we used to say, then where do I put it? Yeah, we are coming there.
Okay.
Yeah, this time you just put in the principles right. That's right. Now let's run quick so that we can reach there. Don't touch your retirement savings. No. Ask your employer, if you are employed, to start a retirement plan. If it's not there, put money into an individual retirement account. Like, for example, in the case of money, and then find out about your social security. Is touching here? No, it's him. I just touch here, things disappear. That's right. That's right. And just always learn to ask questions on what is happening in your work area. But what I'm trying to what we're trying to emphasize is that, let me emphasize this part. Don't rely on anybody else to help you plan your retirement, because no one in the work environment will plan retirement for you to meet your needs, because he doesn't know your needs. Now, for example, when they deduct money every month from your salary, what exactly are they doing? In reality, no. Remember, they are doing nothing because they don't know what your needs are. They're just putting it aside for in case you would need money. But if they would come back to you, when you get employed, everybody was managed as an individual, it was going to meet the needs of a lot of people. To say, hey, I can see we are employing you here now. We are going to have a retirement fund. Can you list your needs at the time you retire so that we can try to meet your needs? But they just deduct money. For what? They don't know. You can't be sitting here, all of you, with the same needs. You're doing, let's say all of you are engineers. You are earning the same salary. We deduct the same salary just because you are earning the same salary to plan for your retirement. But for what? We don't know. Nobody even asking you that question. The only thing we are trying to do is that when you retire, you must have something so that you don't become the government's burden. You must have something. You don't have to be the government's burden. Now, that's very, very important. Now, that's very, very important that the planning is very, very crucial. I'll have to skip some of the things. Are you managing? Because I want people to see. And then the emphasis, as you are trying to find out, is that you need to plan. When you plan, then you must have an implementation, okay? To say, this is how much I would, when I retire, inflation is here now, I'm retiring in 5 years, And then in order for us to beat inflation, this is where I will put the money. This is where I want to be. Then you start saving, saving and so on. Now, saving for retirement provides individuals with income stream once they retire. Now, that's why we know what you call pooled funds? Pooled funds. No. Pooled funds. Okay, thank you. Pooled funds, money from different. That's right. Pooled funds, where different investors put money together, and then it's like when you mutual fund, the unit trusts. It's mutual fund. A lot of people put money, and a financial investment manager manages the funds. For a lot of people. No? That's right. This was exactly what happened, and they manage them into a lot of assets so that you can. The goal is to earn income as soon as you stop working. That's right. So even the retirement. Thank you very much. Yeah, even when coming to let's say government retirements, okay? They put it in a fund for millions of people, and they manage it. And then they manage it, and then remember they keep it in there. It is earning interest, but you don't know what they do with the interest. You may not know, but it's a lot of money which is kept there. It makes interest, and so on. So this is what you call pooled funds. But as soon as you stop working, that money has to work, and then so that is the one you are going to use. Yeah, we're coming to that part. Let's not take too long so that we can finish and have a discussion. Now, to safeguard investor savings and provide income, the aim is to provide income when they retire. We discussed that. Pension funds are managed by institutions like Old Mutual, Sanlam, Allen Gray, etc. Retirement age 55, we discussed. Money can be accessed early, like, for example, investors permanently disabled, investor immigrating, and then investors can only access 1/3 of the money. Now, this is what we are going to discuss now from here onwards. The last statement. The remaining 2/3 is a challenge. You don't know where to take it most of the time because it remains there. Now, the remaining, let's say you are employed or you've got a retirement annuity or with a insurance company, sometimes it's a bad one, that's why they keep you there. And remember, they visit you when you are working. They visit you frequently, and to try to. I hope there's no broker here. You'll forgive if you are there. You forgive me. I'm not. It's not a fight here. Visit you frequently, and then tell you how much you are worth, and then they tell you how much you are worth, and then you start paying, and so on. But in reality, it is not for you. In reality, it's not for you. I remember when I started working some years back, one lady arrived and said to me, "You want to plan what you call education fund for the children." Eh? I stopped it at about 5 months because it didn't make sense. You would pay 100 and something rand in the next 10 years plus. It is 32,000. Then I said, but this doesn't need financial sense. At that time, it couldn't. If I left it, it wouldn't even pay first year university for any child. That's right. But then it means that was not for you. It was for the person to get a salary from this money. It has nothing to do with you. And most of the time, it's nothing to do with you. That's right. So the remaining 2/3 is very important, brethren, where you take it. This is what I want us to emphasize. Where do you take it? The 1/3, they give you cash. No issues. They give it cash when you retire. But remember, planning is not, you shouldn't be surprised what happens to this when you retire. It must be something planned long. Those young people who are out, those ones here, are the ones who must understand what is happening, because they start working and then they just enjoy the money. They don't know that one day they will retire until the time comes. and there's confusion in the house. What happens to the 2/3? The 2/3 is a challenge there. We've got these terms which are used, and you must just keep them in mind. This is a very important slide. We've got what you call life annuity, and we've got what you call living annuity. Yeah, we've got what you call life. No, this one, life as long as you are alive. Living is continuous. Life is for now. When you are alive, it stops, and you've got no control. Living, it continues, even when you are not there. Now, what happens is that most of the time, you are forced to take the life annuity, and you sign for it an away. What are the differences? Initial income drawdown, not your choice. You don't choose the amount. They choose for you. And what about inflation protection? Usually increase with inflation, but this one, this one is not guaranteed. This one, you choose the amount, no problem. Last for life, pays until the death of the investor. This one pays until capital is depleted, whether you are alive or not. You get it, no? That this one will continue paying when you are alive. When you are dead, it's done. It stops. When it stops, no one will get it. This one here, it pays capital until the money which you have invested get depleted. In other words, there will be somebody to look after it in your absence. Either your child, your wife, and so on. This one, when you die, whether your wife or your husband is alive, you will not get it. It stops. Are we together? It stops. This is why when you look at the flexibility, no choice. It pays you a fixed amount, and you are happy that I'm getting a salary every month. This one, you can choose the percentage, how much you need. If you need 17% of what you have put in, they can give you. But this one is fixed because somebody decides of how much you must get. No. What about when it comes to the estate? You cannot leave this one for beneficiaries. It stops. And this one can live for beneficiaries. This is why it pays until it's depleted, because somebody in the house has to manage it. Then it continues. Now, when you are going to retire, don't ask questions and say which one it is. Just say, I need my money, because you want it to be here. You don't want it to be here. When you take it out, you're going to control it. You're going to put it in a preservation fund, and you get a salary every month. You can increase the salary as you wish, depending on the income you will choose, the amount of money you will choose and get out. Are we together here? This is very, very important. Now, this one stops. No beneficiaries. And this one, they say beneficiaries. Either your wife or your child or children will benefit from it. Now, this is please, this is very, very important. It's very, very, very important. Just keep that in mind. When they say you are retiring in 6 months, you must have planned longer in advance. And then when they say you are retiring, then come and sign the papers. He says, no, I'm not signing, I just need my money. But no, you're not allowed to take it out. No. Me and my employer contributed. I need the whole of it. But yeah, then it means it's a resignation. If it's a resignation, it's fine. But I need it. Because I remember, when they say it's a resignation, they are right. Because remember, you are getting out of the system. Now, if you want to remain in the system, you are forced to stay here. The aim is to get out of the system. You are not part of you are going to manage it yourself. You are not part of the employer. You are taking out everything. You are going to put it there. They give you your 1/3, non-taxable. You take your 2/3. You don't take it. You put it somewhere else. It's not taxable. The only thing that will be taxable is going to be whatever income you receive from it. Okay? That's right. But that money, the 2/3, if you put in a reservation fund, is going to remain there until it's depleted. If you increase the percentage you want to withdraw. Remember, if you withdraw it, you can withdraw it a small amount according to your lifestyle until it goes into the children, because remember, it is invested there. That's right. For an example, I saw one teacher who was retired. She was earning about 20-something thousand per month. And then suddenly he's earning 20,000. He's so excited. But you may find that, I said to her, how much do you have in your retirement fund? It's about 6 million. 6 million, okay. But then you realize that 6 million in reality is making more than 20,000 per month, if it is put in the right place. So he's only earning interest of the money for the whole of her life, or his life. When he dies, the money is gone. You don't get it because it's not transferable to anyone. It's not transferable. You can't get it. You remain in the system. And usually people who remain here, if they are not sickly, they are just excited that they are still remaining on the medical aid. They will pay your medical aid, you contribute, you get your salary every month until you are dead. But why can't you plan it yourself? Because you've got the money which you can put aside, pull your medical insurance on your own. Why should somebody else do it for you? Another one says, if I get this money, I'm going to misuse it. That shouldn't be the reason why you should fall into the trap here and get into trap. That's very, very important slide, that one. Just keep it in mind. Yeah? Now, the question now is that if you are not leaving the money here, we are going to finish now. If you are not leaving the money, here, but you are putting it here, or you have not retired but you are planning for retirement, you are going to leave the money here, but you want to put the money at the same time somewhere else, because that's very important. You can't only rely on this one. You'll be busy. Let's say you are at 50, 45, 40. You are still paying school fees for the children, but you are still, you're putting money for your retirement on the side. Where would you put it? You can't only leave it here. Because this one, the unfortunate thing about this pension fund, which is the employer organizes, you can't increase it. They have determined it for you. You can't increase it. There's nothing you can do. But then for you to increase it, it means some savings, as we discussed earlier, must be put somewhere else to keep it so that it also grow. It can add to the salary you are going to get here when the time comes when you retire. Is the message clear? That's right. In other words, you say, okay, I've got this one is coming, but I'm still strong. I'm 40 years old. I'm going to put some money aside every month and save. Now the question is, if we say save, what do we mean? You can't just say save. What exactly do we mean? Because this one is constant. The employers decided. But the other one we don't know. But when this time comes, you sign the papers and say, I don't want to be part of you, I'm getting out. Getting out, you put it there. But there's another one on the side which you have been planning for many years. Again, that's right. And then, now, let me do this. I made a mistake, in fact, in the beginning. That's right. Now, please, get this very well. You may have your financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, please. I'm just using experience. Are we together? Yeah, don't. Yeah, but I remember one day there's a doctor who was almost in trouble. I said to him, you know what he was doing? I give an example sometimes back. He was taking he registered an incorporation. He runs his business as a doctor. Now he takes the money from the incorporation. you go and buy a house in his name. The man is in trouble. Now, when I say to him, do you please go and talk to your accountant or your financial advisor and say to him, I want you to register Section 42 company for me. And if he can agree and he understands, it means he's a very good person, he's going to help you. Because this is what you are supposed to do. You see? Because it's the one which you should use for what you are doing. Not really taking money and put it in your account, in your name. And then you are putting this lady you stay with in the house in trouble, because if you just do that and do that, you have 5 houses, 6, 7, 10 houses. If you die, you're going to have a problem. He has to explain where the money comes from for those 10 houses. He's going to have a problem to explain, because the salary you are getting cannot do that. How are you managing it? So this is just an opinion, and then as a stewardship department, we are trying to empower each other. Now, where can you save your money for retirement? You know? We always talk about diversification, risk management, and asset mix. Now, this is very, very important. And it's not for everybody, remember? It's depending on you, on your plans, on you, as you plan. Now, as you are asking the same question, you have got your pension fund at work, but you are still having strength to work. Where do you put this money? You put it in the bank, depending on your age. If you are, let's say you are 60, but you want to retire at 65, you can see that you are going to plan to put money aside at less than 5 years. So you can't put money of less than 5 years in a very risky investment. You're going to lose it. Yeah, less than 5 years, you're going to lose it. This is why the children who are the 30-year-old, as they start working, must take a serious risk. You will see how much the returns. Because you take a serious risk, put it there, and then if I lose it, I'm going to work and get it back. But if you are 65, if you lose 20 million at 60, you're going to have a challenge. Yeah, that's right. You're going to have a challenge. You don't have to put it in a very high-risk areas. For an example, money market or cash, short-term investment, 5 years or less. So you put the money in the money market there. And then, for an example, as a church, let's say we accumulate money as a church. Money is in the bank. That's right. Money is in the bank. And then we can put it here. We just, it. That one you know it very well. You just link church account with money market. All the money come in, they get into the money market and it stays there. And you can move it anytime. You can move it at any time. It incurs a lot of interest there when it's sitting there. And then you can find that, let's say we have got 2 million in the bank. Do you know that we can run the church with the interest? Nothing else. Yeah, just put the money there. Every day, 20,000 rand comes back. Then you run the church. No issues. But if you put it in the church account, savings account, it will remain that it will give you 1% for the whole year. And then at the end, we will work like our conference. During COVID, we saw dust. During COVID, I remember I was in the meeting one day, and they said, the money is depleted. We said, are there no savings? But no savings. In other ways, if 2 churches, let's say Lyttelton, Golden Harvest, and then Orlando West Church, there are 3 churches at the top. It's Lyttelton and Golden Harvest, that the one at the top when coming to. And then like this one, in a year, it brings almost about 4 million. That other one is almost the same amount. It's almost per year, almost 12 million will come from 3 churches. If those churches just skip 3 weeks and not give, there is a crisis. 3 weeks, not even anything, 3 weeks. you'll be called in the office, you'll get some tea. Go and talk to the church to bring that thing. Because there is no savings. You can't live like that. You can't. Let's leave that one alone. No, it's not part of the discussion. So money market is very, very important. I think as a church, in the future, will encourage that to happen. All the money goes in the money market. When you get an interest, is the one when you have 2,000 rand we need for running the program of you go there and get it. Because it's there. It's an interest for the money you put in there. This is the safe one. Let's say you are 60, 62, 63. You want to save money for your retirement. You can't put it in a long term. No, that's for long term investment, 5 years or more. Like for example, in property. Like for example, let's say you put money in property in 2021, and you aim to retire in 2023, 24. By now you'll be in a problem because property market has dropped. Capital growth, your property growing is very slow. So you can't put it for less than 5 years and say, you know what, I need my property is going to give me a retirement. You are excited. No, you're going to get surprises. That's right. That when you want to sell it, it's low. When you want to get rental, people who are supposed to rent, they don't get enough salary. The rental is static. You know, and then remember, this economy is affecting everybody. You can't keep on increasing rental while there is no, the price of food and other things are up. Those people will stay in your house, have nothing to eat. So you have to balance and say, these people are staying in the house, they are paying, yes, we are going to cap it here, and then we're not going to increase it. And then the capital growth, property growth is very slow, so it's going to grow slowly. So you can't keep it for less than 5 years. So you'll have a challenge. So you can't keep money in the property with the aim that when I retire, in the next 3 years, I'll get something. You'll have a problem. What about the bonds? Bonds also long-term investment. For example, when you talk about bonds, very nice. It's a very nice investment. You never lose your money there. Less government bonds. You see, when you buy a house, they give you a bond. Okay? They give you a bond. You pay a bond, and when you pay the bond, the bank is getting interests. They gain from interest. Let's say you get a house about 1 point something million, but when our interest is about 3,000 every month or 4,000. That's the way the bank is getting the money, that interest. Now let's put it the other way around. You have got a 3 million rand, you borrow the money to the government. Now the same bond, they pay it to you. Are we together? That you borrow them, and then they pay you every month. You'll see it. Now, but because of what you call compounding, in other words, when you get 3 million rand, it gives you, let's say 30,000. Next month is going to be 30,000, 3 million, 30,000. Then now it increases, it's compound. So this is why most people prefer to leave it there, and then leave it there. And you keep it there and leave it, so that it can just compound and increase and increase. So the bonds are very, very nice. But, like for example, now those who've got bonds, they borrowed money to the government. They are very excited now when the interest rate goes up, because now you are getting more. But those who were borrowed by the bank is excited. They are struggling. I hope we are getting the message, né? That's right. It's the same way. The bank is happy because it borrowed you money, but the interest is up. As it goes up, you are struggling, the bank is happy. But those who bought bonds, government bonds, they gave the government money. When the interest rate is going up, they are very happy, like the bank, because they have borrowed. That's right. So this is what you do. But it's very, very safe. It's very, very safe. Now the problem is, when we say you mustn't keep this money less than 5 years, is that You will see maybe after next year, when interest rate drops, now you are going to get less. I get it? You and the bank will get less, and those who had bonds would be happy. Bonds from the bank, they'll be happy because they'll pay less interest. This is the trick of the whole game. So you get this government. Now, shares, same thing. It must be 5 years or more because they fluctuate. Somebody was crying. Put money, it went high, then it went down, less than what was given. Then the person gets depressed. When it goes down, don't get depressed. It's going to go up. This is how it works. When it goes up, let's say it is here. Up, you are happy. Down, you are unhappy. It goes down again, unhappy. It goes higher up, even higher than where it was before. So this is how it works. But now, you can't rely on it because the time you retire, it may be the time when it is down. So you can't rely on that type of money and say, this is the money I'm going to get when I retire. So it's very, very important that you learn about this. This one, very safe. This one, safe for 5 years or more, 5 years and more, 5 years and more. If you've got, let's say, a lot of income, and you are young, 30 years, 30-something, put them here. It's the safest place. This will be the best place to gamble, if I want to use that word. But it's not a gambling, but it's more, putting the money so that we can get an interest. We are going to finish so that we can have time for questions. Now, what about combined asset mix? Combining asset mix. Now, what usually happens that, let's say you have got this. We mentioned shares, more than 5 years, properties, more than 5 years, bonds, more than 5 years, cash and then money market, less than 5 years. It can even go more than 5 years, but less than 5 years is still fine because you will never lose it. You never lose it. Now, the advice is always that if you have got enough time, like you are young, and you want to start, you must make sure that the 60% of all the money you want to invest, put it in shares, because it will grow. You take a risk, but it will grow. And then property 15%, bonds 15%, cash 5%. The reason why this one is safe, but with less return. Very safe, you'll get the money back, no issues. But with this one, bonds, and this one, then they can share the whole amount. And then all of this is 100% of how much. Let's say you got let's say you got $1 million and you want to divide it, 60% there, 15% there, 15%, 10%. Then we are almost done, then we're going to have a discussion. We're going to continue in the future of something else. Now, when we conclude here, is that plan your retirement early in life. Now, in your lifetime, you must plan it early. People try to plan it late, but you are never late because you know exactly where to put your assets. You'll never be late. No, never late. So I think it's my daughter's phone. If you don't mind, just answer. Thank you very much. So you're never late, but early in life. These young ones who are playing outside here, the young ones, the youth, we still have the energy. When you talk about the age, they say, age. I'm still young and strong, man. And the time is ticking. It's not our way. I think everything is in order. Everything is perfect. It's in order. When you've got the chance now to sort out the life, he says, I'm fine. And then keep the money in the correct place. In other words, make sure that it is where it's supposed to do its work, so that it can help you when you get older. We are not done yet, but I just want us to entertain discussion. We'll finish here for today. But the main message is, start now. You are never late. Just plan. I'm going to retire in 5 years. Okay, write down. Write down what you want to, the type of life you want to live after retirement. Number 2, what do I want to do when I retire? Number 3, the lifestyle. Am I going to downgrade, or I want my lifestyle to go up? You know, when you talk about planning, it's very interesting. Never plan around your children. You'll have a problem. Because if you plan around your children, you know what is going to happen? You may even think they don't like you. Because what is going to happen, they will get married, or they're not married, they have an independent life. Don't build a house for them, because they will leave it. And you'll get very depressed, because you'll be very depressed. Don't say, I'm building this house, my children, they are going to stay here when I'm going to retire. They will sell it. And you'll think they don't like you. If you are married, plan your retirement. The only thing you can do for your children, give them education. They must go and learn, they go and sort out themselves. When they want to come, fine. They've got a place to sleep. If one of them get mixed up wherever he is, with life issues, there is a home to come, no issues. But don't plan your retirement around your children. You'll have a problem. Don't say, I'm building this house. No, this one is going to be where my daughter is going to sleep. You will not sleep there. No. You don't do that. Unless you just say, I want my grandchildren to come and play when they visit. But don't even plan and say, this is what is going to happen. And when you plan retirement, you put your money, you put there. Don't say, I'm putting this money for my children. You'll put it there and they don't want it. They have got theirs. You say, I'm trying to help these children. They're not appreciating. No. Just empower them. Make sure that these children are empowered to be independent. Then you are done as a parent. You have done the best. If they want to stay with you by force, they want to stay here, they don't want to leave, always advise them. Please make sure that you get your places, because if I happen not to be around, you are going to fail to manage your own lifestyle. Yeah, because if you always say, Dad, I need to pay electricity. Can you give me some money? You just dish. Make sure that the plan is not make them suffer, but the plan is to say, practice to be independent in my absence. Yeah, otherwise you will be disappointed. There's one doctor. When they took the child to school, the child became a doctor. Then he says that child is going to take my practice. The child said, I don't want it. I don't know. He went and opened his own practice. That's it. Then I came and say, you know what? The only thing I can tell you, you parents, don't plan around your children. Because you got a hit. I said, I don't want it. I'm going to start mine. I'm going to start mine. Yes. So it's very, very important that I just wanted to emphasize that part. So when you plan, it's very, very important. But the last thing, which is very crucial, please, if you are married, plan as a couple. Don't plan alone, because you'll be surprised. If you can, in the same house, you plan things individually, you're going to mess up, because you're going to find that your wife wants to go and stay in Johannesburg when she retires. You want to go and stay in Petersburg. You've got a problem. So you must plan together. This is where we are going together, as a family. That's right. Any burning question, comment? But it's never late. I remember my sister there last time. She said, we who are late. No, there's no late. No. You can still structure it very, very well, and then make sure that you're going to live a very nice and comfortable life when you retire, and and then the other thing we're going to discuss in the future is, does retirement meaning doing nothing? No. It's just that you're going to do something else than what you used to do. That's it. You're just, like for example, if you retire, you can be a teacher, full-time teacher. Your school can run. You get it? School run full-time when you decide to retire. Because you've got this, that skill is there, then the schools run. And then everything run very normally. And then if you retire in the future, you've got 3 or 5 houses. You can start investing in houses, just selling one, buying another one, selling that one, buy another one. And just like we said, foundation, with cows. When you've got cattle, you take it for selling. Another one increases in number. Even the houses can do the same. Now, coming to the house. There are these people who find a person only 50 years old. Ne? You want to pay the bond. He has got James, 50 years old, want to pay a bond for 20 years. He's got a problem. You got a problem. Because if you want to pay that house, you always want to paint here, polishing these things here. No, my house. The bond is almost about to finish. And the next 20 years, you are busy painting here and repairing, making things. You are going to waste your time. Make that house to multiply. That house must multiply. You can't pay a house 50 years for 20 years. You're going to finish the house when you are 70. You've got a problem. And you'll have only one house at age 70. If you are 40, you're going to finish your bond at 60. You've got a problem. You've got a problem. Even if you can add more money or no, I'm going to add more money. I'm going to add and add so that I can finish it quickly. By the time you finish it in 15 years, you are confused because you don't know what next to do. But now if you want to retire, enjoy then that house must multiply itself. It must multiply. Can't remain a statue. It must multiply. Yeah, it must buy more houses because that house is value. And when you are young and you are still growing, children are still growing, you are young, and you have got ability, invest on each other. When you are a husband, you are working, take your wife to school. That's a serious investment for the family. Don't just leave her cooking every day and she's got ability to can learn. No, it's an investment for the family. By the time this person qualifies, you're going to do big things together. And don't get threatened. Remember, this is a family issue. No, if he gets educated, she's going to leave me. No. Don't get threatened at all. Just say, this is a family business. And we are planning retirement together. You have got ability. I'm working now. Please go into the classroom. Study. Don't just get excited. You come home, the food is hot. You are excited. No. Just say, go to school and study. I will pay school fees. Be in control. You're going to be the one in charge. But they will always encourage you to come here. Because they want to. You know what it's like? It's like working for a, I'm sorry, I want to mention something. It's nothing to do with you people. It's just in general. Employees, in general, employees get captured by the employer. You know what the employer does? The employer gives you a medical aid, gives you a house allowance, gives you extra money for transport to come to work, and then it gives you a salary. You've got a big problem. If you decide, if you think of resigning, the first thing that comes to your mind, get those benefits, and they block your mind. See, you can't move. You can't move, and you stay there for life. And the employer is excited because he has given you some sweets, and then you work for him for life, and then he gives you, he's making 100% income somewhere else. He gives you 1/20th of what he's making. as a salary. You think that when they give you 2,000 rand as a house allowance, it's a big thing, you know, and they capture you here. This is why if you find an employee and you say to him, please resign tomorrow, you know what he's going to start calculating? If I resign, what am I losing? I'm losing my pension, I'm losing my house allowance, transport, and then this and this and this and this. Sure, I can't resign. You are a slave for life. You can't move. And all people who are employers here, they know. If you've got employees, you give them money. Give them money, they will stay with you for life. They will never think about, I remember just on the side, one day when my daughter finished school, and then she went to Cape Town and did a master's degree, and then he comes back. He went to an interview somewhere in Pretoria. They said, no, we don't take you. Remember, in the companies, they would like to frustrate these young ones so that they can become disparate. Then take anything. And then he said, no, I just aim to get an experience, but I wanted to have my own company. When she opened a law firm, she registers and everything, she get a place to practice. A company appears and say, can we employ you? We will give you so much salary. The challenge is you get in there, you work. They give you a car to travel. They give you a house allowance. They can even rent a house for you. They give you a pension fund. They give you medical aid. Everything. You have got a big problem. Then she denied it. She said, I don't want it. I'm just going to work. I'll start from zero. And the reason starting from zero, because we just asked, do you see these law firms in town here? You have seen them, ne? They were started by human beings. They're not mushrooming from somewhere else, you know. They were started by human beings. But they want to picture them as though they are falling from somewhere. No human being can do it. Now, if you're an accountant, chartered accountant, you've got this and that, you've got an ability to start your own firm, start it. But one thing I know, the employer will keep you ransom by give you some sweets, which are nice, and then you will stay for life as a professional. I could give you a lot of examples, but this is just what I'm saying, that if you plan for retirement, make sure that you start early. Young people, they are not here. Start now and plan. You'll be fine. That last hand, then we.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Elder Mashi, for a nice presentation. I think there are two things that I would like to ask. The first one, you mentioned that when we are planning retirement, we shouldn't plan around our children, something like that. I can't remember the verse which talks about parents leaving something. We said that a good parent or leaves something for generations and generations, something like that. How do you deal with that verse? One. Number two, and also investing on the children is it's like I have a friend who built a house and is also scared that the children are going to sell the property when she dies or when he dies. So she told me, you know what, I scared my children that when I die, they should bury me just next door. so that they shouldn't sell. Yeah, because she has struggled and sweated for whatever she has. Yeah. The other one is, I don't know whether I talked about it because I came a little bit late. Pension, retirement, and SARS. I know of a friend who retired. I think SARS cut almost, I don't know. And she's depressed because it's like she has worked very hard so many years. And then she just discovered at the end of it that SARS was still eyeing whatever she has. So I don't know what advice you're going to give us on that.
The last one. You know what your friend did? You know what your friend did? Your friend came here. Nah. came this side rather. Tried this one. Let me say, this one. He came here, he took 1/3. Ne? And then he came here, he took 2/3. The whole money is taxed. He's got a problem. This way the 2/3 is taxable, the 1/3 is not taxable. So the person wanted to take all the money. Now when we say you take all the money, but you don't bring it to your bank account. It goes across to a preservation fund. Let me give you an example. I'm not really trying to advertise any company. Let's say you've got Alan Gray. Ne? Alan Gray deals with pension funds. Ne? You say to your employer, I want my money to go to Alan Gray. It goes there. It doesn't come to your account. They control it. They give you whatever you need. They give you a salary. It's fine. They will not tax it. But if it gets into your bank account, it's done. You can even take 50% of it. SARS. They don't play. They don't play. This is what your friends possibly did. He took all. When we say you take all the money, he took all the money and put it in her account. Then he got into trouble. Now the last part, the other part about the children. When I say don't plan around them, I don't say don't plan your pension to leave them something. Please understand me. But don't say when you are alive and you say, I'm going to build my house here and my child is going to stay next door. You'll be disappointed. But that is not going to happen. So this is what I'm trying to say. But now when you plan, this way the verse put it nicely, that you plan for you leave things for your grandchildren. But when you start to drafting a will or a trust or a company, you include your children, there's no problem. But don't think that they're going to run your life when you are retired. This is what I'm saying, you'll be disappointed. Because they will be in with their husband and wife somewhere else, and then you will be disappointed. In fact, you will be an irritation because you're going to visit them too frequently. And because you have not planned you have not planned enough, you have got a lot of time, you don't know what to do with it. Always you want to say, hey, please, can you bring the child here? Niggas, they must sort out themselves there. if you have not started. But what I'm trying to say is, don't, you and your husband, or you and plan things in the picture of their future to help them. You can help them, no problem. But don't expect them that they're going to build their house next door so that they look after you. It may not happen. There may be one who's very responsible, who's going to come closer and closer to you now and again. But when this one starts coming closer and closer to you every now and then, don't think the other one hate you. No, they are living their life. Don't trouble them. This is why it's important that as parents, as I said, if you are married, your wife has got skills. Make sure that your wife or your husband is skilled enough so that this family can grow together. They can grow together. Are we together? So that is what we were saying about not planning around children. Now, you don't plan as though they're, for example, you working, and then let's say you retire. When you retire, I'm going to do private practice, social work. There are a lot of them needed outside here. And then you start saying to Elder Sambo, you say, I'm going to remain here. You go to Malawi. You're causing a problem. It's very unnecessary. But if you plan together, you say, no, this is what we are going to do together. Get it? Now, if he's going, fine. There's nothing wrong. But it must be in the plan. Get it? There's nothing wrong. It's in the plan. Now, and that plan, when it gets implemented, get it? That's right. So it's become a very nice plan. Very, very nice plan. If I have time, I was going to ask you a lot of questions. My friend is here. Like, for example, let's say he left. Went to. It's in the plan. It's not that the man is frustrated. No. It's in the plan that this is what we are going to do. And then I remember, people shouldn't start saying, this man is not fine. He leaves his wife here. There's something wrong with him. It's in the plan. It's nothing to do with you. But you understand, nah? What I'm trying to say, plan. If you don't plan, you're going to start observing what people are doing. And you're going to make a mistake because your interpretation is going to be wrong. It's going to be a wrong interpretation.
Ask maybe the last
Let's
one,
plan together. Yes.
one of the last questions. I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, I spoke to one lady, and somehow voluntarily she started talking about her mother when she retired, and then said the mother retired. She was so attached to the employment, to the job, that a year after she retired, she had lost her memory or Alzheimer, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Literally, she herself was saying, I'm now very cautious. When it's time to leave, I don't want anything to do with work because my mother couldn't handle doing nothing after work. And then she lost her memory and everybody. So maybe one of these things is probably, I think there was one time when I was AMO leader, maybe what we need to do one of these is, I think Elder Moy at some point, we wanted how to prepare psychologically for people to retire.
If he fell in here, post-retirement depression, because he didn't plan anything.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, suddenly you've got 10 hours, you don't know what to do with it. Every day. You wake up in the morning, you're just walking around in the house, you don't know what to do. And then you're going to undergo depression.
Yeah. The second one is, I think one of the guys was also talking about, it's just one of those scenarios.
Yes.
Where I think some teacher or teachers were getting retired, and then I think one of the advisors was saying, hey, look at it. Here, I've sorted about 15 teachers. They retired, we gave them everything. They started businesses, everything went bad. You see now, this is why it's not good to take everything. You need to keep these things so that we keep you. I get my point. Advantages and disadvantages, but probably, something. Maybe as church we need to have confidence or prepare how to manage things even post-retirement. Yeah,
but remember what we mentioned here earlier, which we're still going to discuss. Consider basic investment principles. Now people at the end of the day, they've got 6 million or 5 million. You've never seen it. You've been getting 20,000, 30,000. Suddenly there is 6 million in your. There's trouble, man. If you have never even learned a little bit on just the basic principles, what do you do? There is. Attention, come back. But I think the message is clear. We must just learn the principles and then advise each other and then no competition because we plan differently. Empower each other in the family. Make sure that your husband, your wife, and have got an idea what is happening. Investments must be known where they are. Whatever is happening in the family, they must know. You don't find yourself hiding a will under the mattress. It will not help. At the end, you'll disappear, and then you denied this lady knowledge. After denying this lady knowledge, another man arrives. Hey, it will be as though you can resurrect. There will be a mess up because you will arrive and enjoy your wealth. And then because this lady has got no idea. He's got no idea. This man who came yesterday, you know what he did? Now he met this woman and then they meet, they sign, sign. In community of property, they come from different places. After they have signed, now they come, now we are enjoying ourselves, we are married, we are happy. How did you sign? Yeah, we signed in community of property, things are fine. Where are your children? We chase them away. We don't want them next to us. Now I said to them, who has got elder children? The man has got older children. And the wife has adopted child, one. Fine. I said to this, hey, we must pray very hard that you don't die first. They opened their eyes. What are you talking about? If you die first, those children are going to take their father's properties. Because these properties which you are now trying to inherit, they were built in the presence of their mother. Because your father divorced the mother, but they had properties. And you think that you have escaped the whole thing. You have not. They are just respecting their father. If the father dies first, you are in trouble. The woman started sweating. I said, no, this is the reality. She started sweating. God, it's the reality. Those children, remember the 50% your husband is having now, is the 50% which she accumulated with their mother. You are not going to just enjoy it. Their mother played a part in the 50%. And then you think that they've got no shareholding in the 50%. No, forget it. They've got a shareholding here. Those are the shareholders. You divided this, you forgot them as though they don't exist. But you have 50% of their ex-wife and yours. These children have got shareholding. And then you think that they've got nothing to do with it. You die first. This woman, you must pack your bags and go. Because they are going to come for their father's 50%. Because they accumulated this with their mother. The woman was sweaty. When they left, they looked confused. I said, go and think. You must reverse what you have done. You have messed up. Because this is not normal. If you get remarried when there are children involved, it's not a matter of who is loving the other. It's a matter of what belongs where. You know, that's what belongs to where. Another one, just the last one. Because of poor planning, I'm just emphasizing, we're closing. You know what happened? This husband, and then he divorces his wife. After divorcing, he says, I'm leaving everything, I'm going as I am. Ne? He left the wife and said, the children are still small, bring them up, let them grow. The children are growing. The man went and married somebody, left with nothing. Children grow. That house was converted into the wife's name. Ne? Another man arrived, they signed in community of property. Now there's a trouble here because now all the assets of that man who left, now they belong to this man. Yes. And then when they are together there, they are happy, life is nice, children are growing, they marry, they go. Yeah? The wife died first. Now you can imagine what is going to happen. That man now is remaining with the assets of that man. Because the real wife who was owning them has died, the children are grown up. The children came back. These are assets of our mother. You cannot take them. You're going to live as you are. Now it's a big fight. And then you can understand. The mother blundered. Instead of saying, let's sign out of community of property. These are my children's assets. Let's start our own things. And then they signed. The man was saying, whoever dies first, if this woman dies first, I managed my life. Now, when he's dead, then he can go and call another woman, they enjoy together here. And that man is still alive. Ne? He says, not my properties. My ex-wife died, these things were in her name. Now they are in the name of the two of them. The children are big. They are somewhere else. They are watching. They said, we need our parents' properties. So if you don't plan very well, life can be rough. Can be rough. So please, man, let's go home, think about it, try to implement where it's possible. Where it's not possible is fine. But let's just be alert that these things are there. Can you have a nice, enjoy yourself with your beautiful wife? Life is normal. Just hit a tree with a car and disappear. Things just get a mess up. Yeah. Now I'm very young, nothing will happen to me. Just get under the lorry and your life come to an end. And you never planned anything. There will be a disaster in the house. So thank you very, very much. We'll be going for prayer. Let's not take long. We'll get the time again as a stewardship department to try to teach each other No, and remember, this is just alerting each other. You can read, you can implement, you can go and look or restructure where necessary. Sometimes it's not even necessary, this information. You have already structured, things are fine. Just alerting each other that these things do happen in life. It can be very, very tough. Very tough. We'll expand this next time to look at if you have got a house, how can you multiply it? You know, so that you don't stay in a house at 50 years with the aim of paying for 20 years. You will finish it at 70, and then you shall have failed the children.
Thank you, Elder. Elder Mash's presentations are always interesting. They touch on real life, either family life or stewardship. They touch on real life. I've been advised by the elder that I think because of time, there will be no vote of thanks, so I'll just ask someone to close in prayer so that we prepare to go to the visitations. Sister Mash, can you close? Complete the lesson?
Shall we pray? Our Father who art in heaven, what a beautiful Sabbath we had. Thank you, Lord, that you taught us so much about yourselves and about ourselves. We have learned, now we have to go and practice, implement. We pray that your Holy Spirit be with us as we practice all these things that we have learned. We pray, Father, that as we are going to part, may we not part from you, but just for a short moment, separate to meet again next week. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah, the address, yeah.
Okay, let me get it first. Okay, the visitation is at the Mora family, and the address is there in the church bulletin. I'm trying to open